Hello everyone and welcome for another video of Love and Wargames. In this video, we are starting our second contest for you to win an entire battle fleet. So for this winter edition, we are going away from the Russians. It's a little bit ironic. And we are going away from the red and we are going all blue. As you can see, you can win an absolutely massive battle fleet. But for this winter edition, we're going to change the rules a little bit. First of all, we congratulate again Badger Skull Painting, which is the one who won the Commonwealth Battle Fleet. And unfortunately, some people were sad, like, yeah, I'm a bit sad I didn't get anything. So this time there are going to be 2 winners. So maybe for the 3rd edition there is going to be 3 winners. Who knows, we'll have to see how much miniatures we have. But for now, the main winner is going to get an entire massive Crown Battlefleet. As you can see, you get some massive models, you get a ton of them as well. And if you don't get the Crown Battlefleet, that's okay, because there is an entire Alliance Battlefleet all the way there that you can get as well. So what we're gonna do, the concept is still the same. So for each and every video that we're going to post between now and the end of the contest, which is going to be end of January, beginning of February 2024, for each video under which you post at least 1 comment, you gain a ticket. And at the end of the contest, we're going to have a look at all the tickets, pull them in a pool together, and randomly select one. So the first one is going to win an entire Crown Battlefleet, and then we're going to pick a second name, and the second name is going to get an entire Alliance Battlefleet. Statistics say that there is a chance that you gain both battlefleets if the same name goes out twice, because you can have, like, I don't know, 10, 20 times your name in the pool. No, it's not gonna work. We're gonna have 2 different winners. Let's have a look at each fleet, what you can get. This is not going to be an Orbat review or anything, but this is really going to be the chance to see what you can win and what you will have in your battle fleet once you receive these boxes sent straight to your home. So without further ado, let's take a look. As you can see, there really is a ton of ships. We're going to have a look. First, we're going to start with our crown part, which is basically here, and then we're going to have a look at the alliance part. So for the alliance, for the crown, which is the main force that you can get, let's have a little look and take a look at everything. We'll start with the small one, and then we'll go all the way to the flagships. You can see there are some absolutely massive flagships that you can win. The first thing to say, maybe, is that you have more than 2 flagships, because the Canadians, which you can see here, have a little rule, which means you can take 2 of their cruisers and make them Toronto control cruisers. So you can take this guy and this guy here and say they are Toronto control cruisers. Same with those 2 here. And then you can make more battlefleets, so Canadian battlefleets. So let's start with the Canadian cruisers. As you can see, they got reinforced pro armor, so they're tougher from the front and a little bit weaker from the rear. So I'm not gonna tell you all the variants you can play them as, but basically they're very efficient for their point cost. They're a little bit more expensive than the British, but they are so good. Like, if you play them well and put their face to the enemy, they're really tough. So you get 2 of those with 2 heavy gun batteries or heavy weapons, let's say, to the front, and small weapons to the rear. One thing I didn't say, but it's very important, is of course for the entire fleet, you will get enough to make like enough gun batteries, enough missiles, dices to make everything. You will get for the crown like dices, cards, weapons, etc., generators, and I don't know. And same for the alliance. The alliance box will have dices, cards, generators, weapons, etc., That is important to say. So what do you get with those guys? You get 2 of those heavy Canadian cruisers, if we can say. Then you get 2 of the lighter Canadian cruisers, which are those without the weapons to the rear. Kind of fine, actually, I think, because you always want to keep their front pointed towards the enemy. And then you also have this variant, which is a little bit different. It is a Yukon. It can drop some mines at the beginning of the game, quite efficient. I really like this one because it's very good for its point cost and for the mines and everything. So I would always try to put at least 1 Yukon in my list, but I'm not going to give you list building tips. You get some Orcas, which are Canadian submarines. You get 8 of them. So I quite like them because you can, with 8 miniatures, you can make 1 pack of 6, which is the maximum. That's going to be really a threat. And with the last 2, you can attach them to a Canadian flagship, boosting their defense, their torpedoes, etc. So you get exactly 8. I tried to make sure that you could make some combos with what you are getting. So that is the proper number. And I like these miniatures very well. They're quite cheap. They're very, very efficient. What do you get as well? You get 3 caliburns. Why 3 caliburns? Well, first of all, you can make them as a unit of 3. That is always going to be a good, cheap, efficient activation. They've been boosted recently. But I also use personally the caliburns as escort tokens, because the Crown escort tokens have not been released yet. So when I don't play caliburns, I just use them as escorts, and they fulfill this role very well. You've seen that on the battle reports already. So yeah, it works really well. Then you get 6 of the Excaliburs, and that is quite the gift, because the Excalibur used to be the best unit of the Crown, bar none. Now the other units have been boosted, and the Excalibur, I think, didn't get any nerfs, even points, if I believe right. But they are still extremely efficient. They got 2 gun batteries, 2, and let's remember that the Crown plays well with gun batteries. Normal broadsides, wow. Torpedoes, normal torpedoes as well, like wow. It is pretty much a glass cannon, but since it is mass 1, it's not so easy to sink either. And yeah, this thing is just an amazing brawler at point blank or closing, and it's just really a threat. So you have 6 of those. You can make 1 pack of 4 and 1 pack of 2, or you can make 2 pack of 3. Let's continue with the Hotspurs. The aircraft carriers, I give you all my Hotspurs because I really want to be together. Because if you make a pack of a squadron of 3 Hotspurs, then you can pay them the upgrade to give them the #1 squadron, which boosts the entire SRS that they send. So they send like boosted up SRS, and they send then 12 SRS per turn. That is efficient. You won't really want them to hide, because then they're going to be very expensive, and they're going to have a big target on their head. But if you can hide them behind an island, you have 12 boosted SRS being sent every turn, and that is very good. They have torpedoes as well in the front, but I wouldn't risk getting them picked off the an island, because really their main DPS is going to come from the SRS. And yeah, I like the model as well. Let us continue with the artillery, like fire support cruisers for the Crown. We'll start with the Athelstan here, which is the anti-air variant. It has a flag barrage, so that's good anti-air. It has some bonuses with its weapon, and especially when it does a critical with this weapon, it automatically deactivates the defenses of the opponent. And since the Crown plays very well with torpedoes, that means that this guy can shoot first. It can be attached as well, so you can really make it in one activation. But anyway, it shoots first, deactivates the defenses, and then you send all the torpedoes. That's a very good combo, always has been. I built these artillery cruisers with the little gun batteries to the front because I like the appearance, but you can absolutely play them without if you want to save some points. And then you have the Agincourt, which is an artillery ship, as you can guess from the appearance. This guy shoots at extreme range. Again, just take a look at the gun. And you can upgrade it with different types of weaponries, of munitions to be specific, in order to adapt to your playstyle. Do you want to have something with piercing? Do you want to have something with blast? I would recommend blast. So yeah, you can really adapt it depending on your least building needs. We are not yet done with a surface unit, or actually no, this is not a surface unit. This is a Morgana assault submarine. So this is a underwater submarine unit, and this little guy is going to be very, very efficient in the sense that you can either play it as a cheap Morgana, that's a cheap activation that can be very close to the opponent thanks to Silent Hunter, and just send very powerful torpedoes turn 1, and then use this chainsaw to try to ram the enemy. So very, very threatening ship here. Or you can play it as the Nautilus, and then that means that this little guy gets to like I will not make the list of the boosts that happen if you upgrade it to a Nautilus, but it has 10,000 more special rules, and it especially Devil's Own Luck, which is basically Fortunes of War, but more powerful, but only once per turn, like per round. So that is a very proficient upgrade. So even if you don't want to play Crown, it's always good to have a Morgana as a mercenary. And last but absolutely not least of the surface unit of the Crown that you might win is going to be this Victory heavy aircraft carrier that you can and should and will play as the HMS Ark Royal with the 3 heavy gun batteries to the front, better citadel, etc, etc. So you can play it basically as a default very tough aircraft carrier with some very awkward weaponries that are not so great, or you can upgrade it to the Arial, which has better citadel, better weapons, better everything, inspirational, blah blah blah. So it is more expensive, but I don't see in which world you don't want 3 heavy gun batteries to the front. Oh, it's not magnetized. You can glue it if you want, or you can switch the weapons, of course. But I don't see in which world you don't want to have 3 heavy gun batteries pointed to the front with heavy firepower, because this means that your aircraft carrier does send 10 SLS tokens per turn, wow, but it also shoots with the same firepower as a Britannia battleship. So yeah, this is a very, very good ship. If you're not sure how to start a Crown list, start with Arial and then see what you build around. Like maybe not at 750 points, but if you start to play at 1500 points or 2000 points, the Arial put it every single time. And it's just such a powerful ship. I love it. It needs to have a guardian in the back, not a trident, as you can see here. But yeah, this is an amazing ship. It's full of, like, it's a resin ship, so those turrets will fall when I do this. But yeah, it's a resin ship. It is weight, like it does weight a lot. So if I need to send this whole fleet to Australia, it's going to cost a lot, but whatever. And yeah, this is just, it is going to be one of the centerpiece of your Crown force, for sure. This big brick of resin. And now we go to the aerial units. Let's start the aerial with the smallest of them all, which is these Saxons. You're getting, I think, 6 of those, which is enough to make a full squadron. And they got boosted recently. They're very fast, first of all, that's the first thing to note. And they have corvette duty. So if you have 6 Saxons around you, you get +6 to your entire and submerged defenses, which is really, really good. And yeah, they're good little ships. Don't expect them to do too much. They just have some light torpedoes and rocket batteries. But they're good, especially in a defensive manner. But be careful of blast attacks. Then you're gonna have some Tintagels. So those are more expensive, even though they got some point reduction recently, which is good. They're landing vessels, so they got some paratroopers that can jump around and just land on islands under. They also can make boarding actions from further away because of that. And those little guys have broadsides, actually, with those little things. They get rockets, they got torpedoes to the rear. I'm not sure, yeah, I don't see where are the torpedoes, but okay. And they got torpedoes to the front. And those guys recently gained the ability to be attached to this guy. So now you can have not only 1, you can have 4 Tintagels attached to your Avalon carrier here. So they're going to be in formation, activating as 1, shooting all their rockets together. So that is very cool, and that is the reason why I give you 4 Tintagels. So you can make this little combo of having the Avalon plus its full escort of Tintagels. And then you put also the 6 Saxons around, and then you're going to have 1 big block that is very, very tough. It recently got reduced below 300 points, the Avalon, so that's a really good time to start playing it. We're going to talk about the Avalon later, because for now we are going to the Pridens. The Pridens are such tough ships. So they're built a little bit different. This one is kind of like showing like it's going forward. I love this ship. It's probably one of my favorite ship of the entire Crown line. It looks like an Alliance air cruiser in Warcraft, if you see what I mean, or it looks like an helicarrier in Avengers as well. But yeah, I just love it so much. Actually, the fact that this ship looks like this is the reason that my Crown is in blue, because I wanted this thing to look like an Alliance carrier of World of Warcraft. What can I say? So those are very good. They have torpedoes in the front. You can put some torpedo turret to the front as well. If you've seen our battle reports, you've seen how to efficiently use them. They also have some bombs. If I look under, like, okay, maybe it will drop them, but yeah, you can see they have an internal guardian generator. Well, and they also have some bombs which are very efficient if you can maneuver, because they're very agile. You don't have to fly over the enemy. If you can just put your rear towards the enemy, then the bombs are gonna drop on them, and this is very, very, very efficient, and it can really like sink like a whole squadron of Pride, and just throwing some bombs can kill a cruiser outright. So that is very, very scary indeed. So yeah, really love those. You get 3 Pridens, as you can see there, and you get options to build them as you want. But yeah, really a star unit for the Crown. And last unit for the Crown, but absolutely not least, you can see you get some SRS tokens, of course, because you get some carries. The last big boy is going to be the Avalon. This thing is a beast. I love the model so much. But yeah, I couldn't make people win a Crown Battlefleet without making them win the Avalon, which is, yeah, it is the most beautiful ship of the Crown and of the game. If you ask me, for now, we are still waiting for some beautiful Alliance ship to arrive later. But yeah, look at this beast. It's like I don't know, like when I saw the concept art, this sold the game for me, and I was like, okay, what is Dystopian Wars again? Can I start playing this? And yeah, I love this so much. Like, it has all the rotors, it's a flying aircraft carrier. Like, the concept is so cool. Like, I mean, I love it so much. And yeah, it's just an amazing looking ship. I played it quite a lot in the battle reports, and the Griffin Alpha has been shot down with the Admiral on it. So the Admiral is dead. The Avalon of the Task Force Mordred has been destroyed in the flood, so you will not see it again on the channel. And I was like, yeah, might as well give it away, like, to people that will enjoy as much as I do this beautiful Avalon. Look at this, look at this. It got some Arial torpedoes, which are actually missiles, I learned recently, despite the name. It has lots of rockets that it can shoot everywhere. It has flag broadside. It is SRS capacity 8 because it's an aircraft carrier, but just you want to play it because it looks amazing. That's basically it. I'm not going to try to sell it to you rules-wise. It's not very efficient offensive-wise. It's quite tough. It's an aerial. It sends the SRS. Keep it in the back so it stays alive for the whole game because it's beautiful. You want it on the table. We made some little wave effect here from the rotors. Attach 4 tentacles because there's going to be a big pack and it's going to look so much cooler with all. I'm going to make you a little practice. Yeah, imagine with this, like, in the formation all around, you get 4 of those. They're just going to fly around an island and dropping all the paratroopers. How cool is that? I mean, I'm getting sad that I give it away, but essentially I cannot keep all the miniatures that I have. And yeah, I hope you will enjoy playing with the Avalon as much as I did. That is it for the Crown side. So if you get this, as you can see, you will be a very happy man. But if you don't get the Crown, there is also a chance that you get an entire Alliance battle fleet. So this is close to 2,000 points. This is closer to 1,000 points, but let's have a look at what you get. And we'll start with the basic, very good still, Oriflamme, which is the battle cruiser for the French. They don't have battleships, but they have this guy. You get some weapons, of course, to put here. You can put 2 small gun batteries or hit lancets and stuff. Some torpedoes there. It has a lot of weapons left and right. And the good thing with the Alliance is that you can combine even different weapons in a single dice pool to make a very powerful attack. So that is what they like to do in general. And yeah, the Oriflamme is very good. You have 2 named versions. You have the Fesh. The Fesh is the command version, let's say, which is like basically it's more powerful in general, and it gives boost around with command reroll, so that's really good. Or you have the Richelieu, which is the DPS version with all the hit lances, and it's just like a beast in combat, and it kills so much. Just look at that. Look how beautiful the design is for the Alliance. I mean, wow, really, wow. Like, the French are the best fleet design-wise of the entire game, and I will fight you if you disagree. I'm kidding, but I love it so much. And it's not because I'm French, but like, yeah, you made some little shiny part of the paint here to represent that it's made out of glass, and there is still space here to put your name for the ship. So yeah, you got this very nice flagship. You will basically always want to attach 4 Écuyères, which is this small escort ship. They're not really escort, they're frigates, but they're very cheap and they have corvette duty. So it means they go by packs of 4, up to 4. If you attach 4 Écuyères, you're gonna have +5 defenses for your little Oriflamme, and that is really how I would play it, especially since their gun batteries can then support the attack. And I just love the little appearance of this. Let's continue with the cruisers while we're here. This is going to be a Chevalier, so the standard version of the Alliance cruisers. You get 2 of those. You can see another one here. Well, it's not focused on it, but you get 2 Chevalier. Of course, you can always switch the weapons with what you get in there. They're just efficient ships. They have torpedo turrets there. They got these heavy gun batteries, and just for the points, they are really efficient. You can, of course, proxy them as other things if you want, but I would recommend, especially if this is your first Alliance fleet and stuff, just keep playing them as Chevalier. They're very good. They're very beautiful, of course. And yeah, you get 2 of those. Do note that the Écuyère that you have here can also be attached to your 2 Chevalier if you want. If you, for example, want to make an artillery version of the Oriflamme, so of course the gun batteries of the Écuyère cannot link, then it's a good idea to link them to the Chevalier. You also get 4 of those Sirènes. You can proxy them as Epaulards, but the weapon here is the weapon of the Sirène. It's a hit lancet, and the Epaulards, which is what you can proxy them, is artillery submarine that stays way in the back, or you can play them as Sirène, and those can be deployed very close to the opponent now. So they are basically turn 1 very fragile but very threatening pieces. So while your fleet gets into position, this is a very good first activation for you to do, to try to cripple an enemy ship that is important straight away and put some early pressure on your opponent. So yeah, they used to have really a problem to be delivered to where they want to be, and now with forward deployment they can do what they want. Just make sure to deploy them very well hidden from the opponent. Alright, you will notice that you get some SRS tokens as well. You also have those skimming units, so let's start to have a look. We'll start with the Chasseur. You get 1 of those. You can proxy them as a Furieux if you would like. So you can say there are 3 Furieux, 3 Chasseurs, etc. But you basically have 3 skimming combats. The only thing that changes is this here, so it's not going to be life-changing. So the Chasseur, you have 3 small gun batteries or whatever you want to put there, and 1 big here. It's a bit cheaper, it's very fast. The skimming now are quite good now that they have basically Silent Hunter, Shadow Hunter with their new rule like Saber Rattle. So that is very efficient and they can go very, very fast. So the Chasseur is basically the default combat variant of the skimming. They have their broadside here, and they're just efficient ships. If you put a pack of 2 or 3 of those, that's going to be like quite powerful, especially if you get close to the enemy. Then you use the new capacity of Levin Surge to become aerial, so you will be a little bit further away. So you will shoot the enemy at your optimal range. Probably he will shoot you at the not optimal range, and you will be obscured as well. So yeah, love these ships. But you know what I love even more? I love the Furieux even more. This guy is more expensive, less fast, but it does other things. It can be attached to flagship. So for example, you see you have 2 skimming flagships, so you can attach 1 to here and 1 to there if you want to attach both of those. You have 2 Furieux if you really want to play them as they are built. They give a little boost to the defense, and they have great boarding action now with their Legionnaire assault pods. So those things launch drop pods that are full of Foreign Legion French soldiers. So how cool is that? I mean, they just sold me on the Alliance when I heard about that. Legionnaire drop pods, come on. And yeah, so you get 2 of those. They are less focused on combat, but they have a lot more utility than the Chasseur. You also get this little Volière, which is a skimming aircraft carrier. Very cool as we can see. And this guy can send these little Malinois strike fighter. They are nice SRS token. I will not go into orbit review, but the French aircraft, or let's say more mobile, let's say. And yeah, love those little things. They're quite fragile because it's a carrier, and on top of that is skimming unit, which are usually more fragile. So make sure to hide this guy well. And yeah, otherwise it's a good carrier, especially it's very fast. So if the enemy gets too close, you can run away. And if the enemy has some robots, you can make him fly away because like very efficiently. Or actually, even if you're a skimming unit, you cannot be rammed by robots and stuff. So actually the big weakness of carriers, which is like if a robot arrives and punches you, you're basically dead, you can avoid it by using skimming carriers. And last but for sure not least, the 2 skimming flagships for the French. Here you can see the Magenta, which is the battle version, or the Saint-Michel, which is the carrier version. Both of those got a big boost, especially the Saint-Michel. Let's start with that. As you can see, it's basically a Volière but bigger. You have a few different configurations now, and the interesting part is that you now have a default version, which is a basic Saint-Michel, which is much cheaper than it used to be. It doesn't have Fortunes of War, but it does give you a good skimming carrier. So that is really something to consider. Plus it looks really cool. I mean, look at that, it looks amazing. Yes, I just love it. And the Magenta that you have here is the combat version. So it looks, first of all, it looks great. You can put a heavy gun battery here if you want. I mean, this thing is basically a flying whale slash star destroyer slash, oh my god, look at that, it looks so good. We'll just take a second. Probably my favorite ship of the Alliance right now in terms of design. I just love it really, really much. It's just hovering over the ocean and it's bristling with weapons, and it's like, wow, just love it. Imagine being the captain on this deck, just commanding your skimming fleet. Isn't that amazing? So you get lots of weapons that you can put everywhere. Put a little examples here. The magenta is very, very efficient in combat. You can attach a Furieux to make a really good combo there. And the thing I wanted to show is that those are actually magnetized. So you can switch it off if you want. And you can absolutely use this and it's magnetized. Or you can put it back there and say like this guy, I don't want it to be magenta anymore. I want it to be a little Saint-Michel. You have two landing platforms like this, and you get two combat platforms. So if you want, you can make a Saint-Michel and a Phoenix, or you can make two magentas if you want. So you have possibilities. Okay, well, we've seen basically everything. Now you know what you can win for the Crown and for the Alliance. We're gonna have two winners, I'm saying that again. The contest goes until end of January, and you can start already by putting us a like. First of all, it really helps, and it helps to grow the dystopian community around the world. And second of all, you can already type a little comment. It's already going to give you a ticket because this video counts. And then make sure to subscribe so you see all of our videos, and put a little comment under each and every one of them. Just one is enough. If you put 10 comments under one video, it still only gives you one ticket. So you can put a comment under each video once you subscribe, or even if you don't. And then I will meet you again at the end of January, beginning of February, to make the poll and see who is going to win the Crown Battlefleet and who is going to win the Alliance Battlefleet. All right, I hope you're excited for this contest. I know I am. The first one really worked. I really saw the number of comments like explode, let's say. I hope that is also because you're invested in the channel, but it's also interesting, like it pushes you to make a little comment, and then you say like, oh yeah, but actually this was interesting, but I would like this kind of video more. So it's good to have interaction. Keep telling us what you like and what you don't like about the channel, so we can make some little adjustments. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. I will see you on the next video, and until the next one, remember to keep spreading the love all around. Bye.